G'day guys, Jono here, recovering addict, alcoholic, 30 years, 4 months clean and sober, glory to Jesus. Step 2, came to believe that God, a power greater than ourselves, could restore us to sanity. The step 2 phrase, came to believe, suggests a process and progression of faith that evolves over time. A portion of AA's oral tradition defines that as a 3-part unfolding. First, we came, that is, we showed up and stumbled in the door. Second, we came to, that is, we sobered up and came to our senses, began to experience emotional sobriety. Third, we came to believe, we began our real recovery process and our spiritual growth. This is a style of spiritual growth closely parallels the strong Christian tradition that each person must come to an individual knowledge of God. Step 2 is the logical outgrowth of step 1, because if in step 1 we admitted our own powerlessness, and then the next step is to seek a new source of strength and power to take charge for us and to make us sane, well and whole. For some people, spiritual conversion is dramatic, as it was for the Apostle Paul on the road to Damascus. You can see that in the book of Acts, chapter 9. For most, however, it is very gradual. As one grows and matures emotionally, one also grows spiritually. Before we can welcome a new power to restore us to wellness, we probably have to engage in some emotional and spiritual house cleaning. 1, we must bring into abstinence or balance all addictive agents through which we have sought to meet our deepest needs. Money, sex, career, chemicals, anything and everything about which we have become excessive must be put into proper perspective, not lifted onto a pedestal to be worshipped. 2, we must transcend the God of reason if we have been worshipping God through an exclusively intellectual approach. 3, we must renounce the tendency to play God ourselves. We must grow beyond selfishness, narcissism, and grandiosity. We must renounce putting other people or human institutions in the role of God or gods. Not only must we be rid of false gods if we are looking to the Judeo-Christian God as a higher power, we must also need to overcome old sources of bitterness towards him. 1, we have identified God with an abusive parent. 2, we may have had negative experiences with church, hypocrisy, bigotry, and condemnation. 3, we may be struggling with the sense that God has failed us, that he has allowed us to become codependent. 4, we may be angry that God has not instantaneously healed us of our addictive illness. As we commit ourselves to a lifetime of recovery, our starting point may be our recovery literature, and that literature makes a valuable contribution towards the opening of spiritual doors. If we really want to fill the void, if we really want to break down the barriers hindering our progress, we need to turn to the ultimate source of God's word and discover what the scriptures have to tell us. By exploring the Bible, we will learn more about God. We'll draw closer to him and we'll discover more about his will for us.